My name is Mikołaj Pawlak and I'm a sociologist from the University of Warsaw. My recent research topic is getting a job phenomenon. How do you find jobs? How do we search for jobs? This is about the topic about which I conducted a survey among people newly employed in last year. There is a lot of myths spread among our society about this issue. According to opinion polls, more than 80% of people believe that you need to know someone really connected to find you a new job. It has to be a close family member or a close friend. It's not quite true. According to my research, 51% of people find their jobs thanks to the personal contacts, and 31% find their jobs thanks to the formal methods, like answering to the advertisement in newspaper or being recruited by the job agency. 12% of people simply directly turn to the new employers, and 6% of people use other methods. It is usually creating your own small company. What is also contrary to the popular myths, it is not only like people are searching for jobs and finding the jobs, and the managers, employers are blood-sucking capitalists and employees are just unprivileged on the labor market. More than 1/3 of the employees, 37% of them, they were not actively looking for a job, but the job found them. They received the offer and they use it and change their job. Let's turn to this half of the population which is finding their jobs thanks to the personal contacts. First thing, it is nothing unusual. This is how it happens in every labor market of modern society. This is how it is in USA, France or Great Britain, where the half of the population, more or less half of the population, is finding a job thanks to the personal contacts. This is also interesting for a social scientist because this is the moment in which social networks enter the stage. So we study how these ties are formed, in what context they are formed. According to my research, the most popular context, 54%, is the context of work. So you find a job thanks to the contacts from your previous jobs. It is important for the social policy and for your individual work career. If you know that you will find a job thanks to your previous job's contacts, if you are in the game because you once entered it, you know that it is a good way to create a social policy of employment. Also, if you think about your own career, you know that working in one place, it's not only gathering an experience, but it's also expanding your social network, thanks to which in future you will probably find a job, or maybe the job will find you. 30% of people find their jobs thanks to the contacts created in their community. It means in their neighborhood or associations, member of which they are. 22% of people find their jobs thanks to their family members, but these networks are also much broader than the popular myth about it. It's not only father or big brother finding a job for their immediate family member, but it is also broader networks containing such actors like friend of a cousin or a mother of a former girlfriend. 14% of employees found their jobs thanks to the contacts made in educational institutions, like school or university. What's important here is that these shares are changing with the time. The older the employer is, the less frequently he's going to use his networks created thanks to the family, and less frequently he's going to use the networks created thanks to the educational institutions. The more important are the networks and ties created in a job context. What is also another myth? That you need to be strongly connected, that the relations have to be strong to bring you information about a new job opening. But it is actually impossible thanks to the structural reasons. If you have a good friend Janek and you have a good friend Basia, the most probably they also knew each other quite well. And if Basia would start spreading information about the new job opening only to her good friends, this information would be circulating only in a small and dense network, or not very big size. It wouldn't reach far. So that's why this kind of information has to be spread by so-called weak ties, the relations in which we are not very good friends. We simply know that person and when meeting in a street, not even saying hello, but nodding our head. We call them nodding relations. According to my research, 68% of people who obtain their jobs thanks to the personal contacts learned about their jobs thanks to the weak ties. This topic of getting a job is fascinating for me as a researcher, but it's also important to different groups of people, to the employers who know the reality of labor market, to the employees who are finding the job, which is one of the most important things for them in their life. And it is also important for decision makers who are regulating the labor market, counterfeiting unemployment and bringing fair industrial relations into it. But these three groups of people, they speak a bit different languages and they perceive the problem from different perspectives. Social scientist is a good person to mediate between them and facilitate discussion between them.